I'm interested to know your experience of using the ElliptiGO for rehab purposes. Would you elaborate on the type of injuries you've had and where you have used the ElliptiGO?
Yeah, when I first found out about the ElliptiGO, the injury I actually had was several stress reactions on my pelvis. So it was actually, there weren't many motions I could do for quite some time. But then it came to a point where I was strong enough to do some weight bearing, but I found that biking overused my hip flexors. Obviously swimming I felt was more upper body and less lower body, and that's, I did my research and I found the ElliptiGO and I thought, wow, this is perfect for what I'm looking for. Not only is it the running motion and getting me developing those muscles again, getting ready to take back on land, but it was less weight bearing through my body, and it actually allowed my pelvis to continue to heal and rehabilitate while still gaining a lot of aerobic ability and endurance.
I note that at some point you had a plantar fascia issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my biggest injuries over the last 12 months have all been in my feet. I've actually had a lot of injuries. I started off with an Achilles, which led to rupturing my plantar fasciitis. So that was a big one for me, where I kind of was sidelined and thought, how am I going to get through this season if I can't use one of my feet? But yeah, I ended up finding the ElliptiGO again. I got in contact with ElliptiGO and I said, look, I'm injured again, I need some help. And yeah, I did a lot of training to strengthen the foot again without, the impact of just hitting the ground over and over again. It was a huge influence in my training. And I actually later that year, when I was in full training, developed a stress fracture in my fourth metatarsal on my other foot. And I pretty much used ElliptiGO for 80% of my training leading into the World Championships, and it was the best finish I've ever had at a World Championship. And believe it or not, I didn't even do that much running. It was a lot of the ElliptiGO that built my fitness and strength to get me where I got.
So if you had to summarise the benefits in using the ElliptiGO as a rehab tool, what were the main benefits for you?
I'd say the strength that it gives your legs without the pounding of pavement running or trail running, or versus a track. It allows you to still kind of work all the same muscles, but also I didn't just go on flat bike trails. I would take it over roads and hills and mountains. Like, I did it all. I'd spend hours sometimes just going on a long ride on a Sunday, all through different terrain, just to try work my body as much as possible. And I think that's the thing, it gives you just this huge aerobic base without having to kill your body to get there. And I found that it made me a stronger athlete for when I was out on the track, because the track felt easy then. I'd done all the hard work on an ElliptiGO, and it definitely strengthened me as an athlete.
You're a member of the Melbourne Track Club. Does Coach Nick Bideau use the ElliptiGO in his training regime with other athletes?
Anyone that is a bit banged up or injured, he definitely resorts to the ElliptiGO because we've had such success with it. Like I said, I can name 3 or 4 girls in our group that have had to turn to the ElliptiGO, especially last minute leading into major championships, because at that point in time you can't rest, or you can't sit back and go, oh, I'll just heal this injury. You've almost got to keep going and heal it on the go. And that's when we get the ElliptiGO and really incorporate it into everything we do, so we can continue gaining fitness. So my coach is definitely a firm believer in the ElliptiGO and believes that if there's something that needs healing or a little bit of rest but we don't have time, it's straight to the ElliptiGO.
Thank you, Genevieve, for your time and for giving us an insight as to your use of the ElliptiGO. ElliptiGO experiences, and I'm sure all of Australia, wish you great success at the Commonwealth Games.
Thank you.